I believe in the principle of give honor to whom honor is due. Black Americans have been telling people literally that we are not immigrants. We didn't come here the same way you come here to look for greener pasture. Why is it so difficult for a lot of people to understand? Why is it difficult for these Hispanics and Latinas to be like, oh, they will soon come for you. You too, you will soon get deported. Like, why is it difficult for you to know the difference between you as someone that is not Black American and a Black American person? I don't know why it's getting them confused. And in today's video, Black American people are here to also explain to you, for those ones that don't know, so that you can know very well and understand when these people are telling you, we do not want this, give us our honor. It doesn't take anything. Respect these people and go your way. Welcome back again to the channel. My name is Sonia. If this is the first time you're tuning in, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode, and I want you to be honest with me as well in the comment section as a Black American person that is actually watching this video. What is your take on this? Let's get right into this. Let me play this video for you. This is just for educational purpose, and I'll be back with commentaries.
We didn't come here for a better life. We came here against our will to give a better life to other people. Our history is different from yours. We are not here for the same reasons. Oh, these facts, man, these facts, boy, they just be, they are unrelenting. Facts. All right, I'm out.
For Juneteenth, I need y'all to learn that Black Americans are not immigrants. You're not an immigrant when you are dragged across the globe against your will to be worked and bred and tortured by the very people who stole the land upon which you were dragged to. Okay? We didn't choose to vacation here. We didn't choose to flee here. We didn't choose any of this. That's the difference. A lot of y'all are immigrants, and God bless you for it, but that will never be Black Americans. We were forced to build up the places that a lot of your ancestors immigrated to, and to this day didn't get a stake in any of that. So before y'all run your mouths about Black Americans and our history in this country, make sure you're not spewing out garbage first. Because immigrants make this country what it is, but we are the building blocks, the very foundation. So unless you're Native American, you can't say nothing to me about that.
Black Americans are the only real Americans, not immigrants. I feel like we're forgetting someone. I feel like we're forgetting someone. I feel like we're forgetting a very specific group of very often forgotten people. I feel like we're forgetting someone. Unrelated, I've never had fry bread, and I really want to try. Is that problematic? I don't know. I want to try fry bread.
Doomsday, my people. How y'all feeling? Thugged out? Me too. Cheers. I think I be a little naive sometimes, trying to give people the benefit of the doubt intellectually, because when the Hispanic Latino community kept saying to us, y'all'll be next, y'all'll be next, I promise you it never crossed my mind that they thought we were immigrants. I never thought that they were that dense. Never. Like, I thought when they were saying that, they were saying like, oh, once they're done with us, they'll be harassing you next. And that's why in all my videos, when I was speaking on it earlier on, I'm like, we know that, bitch. We always been the target. Like, I thought they was just saying we'll be targeted next. I had no idea they thought we were immigrants. That shit is comedy. Def Comedy Jam. Where y'all at? We need to reboot. Because what? Ain't no way. Ain't no way y'all that dense to have thought we was immigrants. Ain't no fucking way. I couldn't believe it. Now that I'm seeing all of these videos and the Hispanics and Latinos are confirming, like, yeah, a lot of the people in the community don't know that the history of Black Americans, and that they're not immigrants, and that some of them are indigenous, and that most of them came over here and are descendants of slaves. And I'm like, they didn't know that? What? And it's not like I'm thinking they should go research some history and culture that's not theirs. It's just, this is common knowledge.
Trying to scare tactic Black people that if they don't stand in unison with Mexicans and immigrants in this deportation, that we're next. Next how? That's how, y'all be talking about, well, we don't know the history about. Y'all don't know the history. We are citizens of this country. that were brought over here forcibly by our ancestors, brought over here forcibly centuries ago. Our blood is in this soil. There is no next. There's no deporting us. There's no rounding us up. Like, what are you talking about? We not in the same boat. This ain't the same thing. ICE ain't looking for us. You hear me? Thank you.
It is kind of jacked up to find out that, you know, people around the globe thought that African Americans were immigrants. That's pretty jacked up. Like, all this time y'all thought we were immigrants? I don't understand even why people would think that, because here you have the whole Caribbean, the whole South America, and then we have North America right here. And you would think that, okay, yeah, I mean, everybody else is cool. You know what I'm saying? Jamaicans are Jamaicans, you know, Haitians are Haitians, you know what I'm saying? Why on earth would people think that we are immigrants when we got over here before the founding of the country? Why in the world would people think that we're immigrants? African Americans, I mean. Okay? That is so weird. Like, and to see how it actually affected how they voted. I mean, this really opened up a can of worms right here. This really did open up a can of worms. It affected how they voted. It affected all the things they would say about us for a long period of time. Like, they really thought that we were the immigrants of the United States of America. So how is it that people would think we are immigrants? That makes absolutely no sense. All this time. And see now, then when I saw that Cuban lady on here talking about some, you know what? African Americans are the only ones who can help us. For the longest time, we have been clowning African Americans, blah, 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 and they're the only ones that can help us. They can't be deported. So, even though the video was honestly true, right? But when you say that, right? You said that out your mouth, right? That means that the only reason why you would even try to be around us at this point is to secure your status here? After talking all that trash? He was talking about Cubans. I'm going to specifically say she was talking about Cuban America. She was talking about Cubans, okay? Nobody else. I don't want to put all the whole... She was talking about that because she was Cuban. She said, I've always been with them, but you know, if you're going to kiss anybody's butt, you're going to have to kiss Black American butt. What? This thing is blowing my mind, really. Because the fact that, because I did a whole video about this, and I was telling someone from out of the country, talking about when we come over to the country, we like to align with white people because that's where we get our success from. And I said flat out, said you do not get your success from white people. White people don't even want you here. You get your success from black people. That just went completely over a lot of people. Say just like, they're like, how in the world is that? I mean, it seems like the globe does not consider us. And then they would always say, what kind of power do you have? What kind of power do African Americans have? Do you not realize? Do you not realize that there's white people in Congress? And then guess what? Guess who's next? Guess who has the most power in Congress? Black Americans. Now I understand that the globe, many, probably the majority, just thought we were just over here. Just thought we were just over here. And now it makes sense why every time they look at us, right, they say they don't consider us actual founders of the country. All they do, they sit there and they say slave. When they see us, they say slave. That's what they see. That's what they see. That's what they see. Because I've actually looked at comments and been called it myself slave. So they're actually living in the 1700s still. The globe is living in the 1700s and the 1800s when they look at us. When they look at African Americans, that's what they look. So that's actually to our advantage in a lot of different ways. So while we were over here fighting for everyone's civil rights, everyone else was looking at us as that. That is so wild to me. And now that the same people they were chasing are kicking them out, or saying we're not going to kick you out. And that's another thing. They're saying we're not going to kick you out, really, if you work in agriculture or in hospitality. They're basically saying we'll let you stay here if you're working the jobs we need worked. That says a lot. Okay, that says a lot. Okay, and the same people that they trying to, get proximity to are kicking them out of the country. Which I said that a long time ago in one of my videos. I'm like, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. What's going on? Flip, 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 flip. I don't know what's going on, but as an African American, just use it to your advantage.
What do you mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Y'all thought black people, black Americans, African Americans, blacks, us, were immigrants. The hardest lessons, clearly, it's going to take me a long time to learn and figure out, is that other people just don't know what I know. I assume that a lot of people know what I know. That's why y'all keep saying that, huh? That makes sense, I guess. That we're next. Y'all think, what? How do y'all not know how long we've been a part of this country? Black people fought in the Crispus Attucks. Did everybody not, at my little church, every Black History Month, there was this huge thing. I'll never forget when I came to my grandma's house. It was a huge package, and it was all of these cards. They were ABC cards, but on every card, letter of the alphabet, and an important person from Black history. And that was what we did all February at Sunday school. Like, we learned those cards. We would have to, and then we'd line up at like the Black History program, and we'd have to read them out loud. So I guess I just assumed, oh my God.
So, I watched something last night that stated that the Mexicans were under the impression that us as African Americans are immigrants. Immigrants? No, we are imported indigenous workers. So, do your homework. We didn't voluntarily come over here. Our ancestors, we didn't choose to come here. We was fine. You know what I'm saying, people was riding on zebras and chilling and hunting and darts and all kind of stuff. Right, we was just chilling. You know what I'm saying, Ali Boombaye type. You know what I'm saying, type of time. And mysteriously, this colonizers came over there with a bunch of ships and told us about this timeshare, and we opted for the timeshare. Are you serious? Listen. All right, we are not the same Mexicans. We actually, our ancestors, our peoples, built this country for free. All right, what you guys need to understand, we are the architects. You guys are the maintenance workers, the groundskeepers, the landscapers, the carpenters. You guys do the repairs for what we built. Don't you ever get us misconstrued with that we're the same. You guys work hard, so it seems. But nothing's working harder than a person that's working for free. Remember that. You guys get paid and you send your money back over to your country. So you guys are messing up the economy because you're not putting into the economy. We pay taxes. Always have and always will. So no, we're not the same. You don't like us, we don't care. But don't get it misconstrued. We are not the same. But I love them some tacos. I'm not gonna lie. I love some burritos. I love some fajitas. All that. But we got the recipe now. You're dismissed.
So, in light of recent events, I've started to see more and more comments along the lines of, oh, well, they're coming for you all next, meaning the Black Americans. Many Black Americans are not scared because we've already survived the worst that this country has had to show us, or the worst that this country can be. We are the descendants of American chattel slavery. And this is specifically going to be about Black American descendants of slavery, meaning you're Black, you identify as a Black American, born in the United States, or you have a traceable ancestor to American chattel slavery. I don't care if you are as light as Alicia Keys or as dark as Doechii. This applies to you. Black Americans have already survived enslavement, lynching, forced breeding, and the other horrors of slavery. Every Black American living today has a stronger genetic connection to their white enslaver ancestor than we do to any single one of our Black ancestors in Africa. Yeah, are we Black? Very much. Proud of it, always. But that statistically does not erase the fact that our white ancestry came from a likely non-consensual, brutal relationship on our paternal side from one or two or more, in my case, as dark as I am, male white ancestors to one of our enslaved great-grandmothers. That's only 6 to 8 generations ago. There are people living today that have a 4th great-grandparent, and that's slavery, let alone the Jim Crow South. My grandfather was born in the Jim Crow South era of Alabama, 1940s Montgomery, Alabama. He's only in his 80s. Meanwhile, our African ancestry that makes us the Black Americans we are, it gets blended from different people, from different African ancestors. So our genetic connection to any single one of them, it just gets lower the more time goes. And I'm not someone who has any identifiable white ancestor in my family tree. Now, granted, my ancestors do get lighter in the photo album the further back you go. And once you hit around the turn of the 20th century, some of them just look white. Like you can't tell that they're Black, but they're Black Americans, the African Americans. And I need to stop saying African Americans, because I personally just think that African Americans should be reserved for those who have a parent or who are recently from the continent of Africa. They're born in Africa. Black Americans, I'll be honest with you, I would rather be called a Black Negro in that sense, because I am of the Negroid race. Reclaiming it with the honor and the strength and the dignity that it deserves. Because I am a descendant of the Black American Negroes in this country, the enslaved, the beaten, and the brutalized. And while many Mexican Americans, for instance, or from other Hispanic countries may say, well, wait a minute now, we also are the descendants of the indigenous. Because yes, most Black Americans have, well, I wouldn't say most, but I would say a substantial amount of Black Americans have a traceable Native American or indigenous ancestor as well, as do I. It's literally 2%, but it's there. Many Mexicano Americans are descendant from the Spanish colonizers and the Native Americans or the indigenous people to this land. But most of that is European ancestry. And while, yes, Mexican Americans may, like the indigenous, have a stronger connection, genetic connection to this actual land because of their native ancestors, Black Americans have a stronger genetic connection to this nation. America has never not known a black face. So when Black Americans get very offended over the whole, like, go back to... Like, I literally have not heard that since 2008 when Obama was running for president. Like, go back to your, like, this is literally the country of my great-great-great-great-grandmother's great-great-great-grandmother. So when we joke, it's history and it's rhetoric, it's genealogy and it's trauma layered in one. We are the American heirs. When you look at a Black American, you are truly looking at the face of America. If America truly, considering its entire history, were to have a physical human representation of what it would look like, someone who has a genetic connection to all of the major players to this country's origin or its story, it'd be the Black American, the Black American Negro, the descendant of the white enslaver, the Black enslaved, and the native. See, this is the problem. This is the cultural mindset that has pissed so many Black American descendants of American chattel slavery off. Nation, North America continent, two separate things. You may have a stronger connection to the land. We have a stronger connection to this. As I said in a prior video, immigrants, no, let's start there. Stolen people trafficked across oceans, beaten and brutalized over hundreds of years, 400 recorded. Also, most Mexican Americans are the descendants of Spanish colonizers sent by the Spaniard crown to North America, in which they also captured, enslaved, brutalized indigenous people in what is today called Mexico, resulting in Mexican Americans, or Mexicans as we know them today. Most of Mexico's DNA, so most of the Mexican population, their DNA, like Black Americans, but yours is majority Spaniard, majority Spanish colonizer, with some indigenous tracing. Substantial amount of Black Americans, myself included, have a decent amount of Native American alleles present in their body years later. Why? Interbreeding, intermarriage, and just enslavement together. And yes, the Native Americans did also own Black American slaves, but many post the Civil War oftentimes joined Black American communities in the South, and they were seen as basically Black, so now my great-grandmother's father was half Black and half Native American. Black Americans, yes, majority of our DNA is from Africa, clearly, but we descend from colonized alone over years. And it consists of the Black enslaved, our Native American ancestors, and our white enslavers. That's not the same. It's so far from the same. One is inherited lineage through a caste system. The other is an inherited lineage through a conquest. Let's not. Also, since now everybody wants to be indigenous, why aren't the actual, recognized by the U.S. government indigenous Americans, indigenous people, discrediting Black Americans in their birthright?
So now people are trying to say that Black Americans are immigrants. Black Americans are the only people in the U.S. besides Native Americans that are not considered immigrants. Europeans, Asians, Latinos, all came here to the United States voluntarily, whereas Black Americans came here by force. In order to be considered an immigrant, you have to take action and moving to another country. Black Americans did not take action, we were forced. That's why we call ourselves foundational Black Americans, right next to Native Americans. Black Americans have been here in this country since the 1600s, a lot longer than a lot of white American families that you see today.
So wait, people really thought that African Americans were immigrants? Yeah, I know y'all lying. Don't immigrants go on their own? If they go to a particular country on their own accord, because they may be trying to get away from whatever. We ain't come here because we wanted to be here. We still don't want to be here. Hell, we hoping that they maybe put us out and send us somewhere. Well, what do y'all mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Immigrants? Y'all know the story of how we got here? Do that make sense? This world is so disillusioned about African Americans. We're descendants of Africa, but we've been here for hundreds of years. We're not first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation. Like, we've been here. We built this country. The foundation of this country is built by African Americans. We didn't come here because we want to be here. Like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all thought we were immigrants. Immigrants? Who? Where? Immigrants? I got papers to prove I ain't no immigrant. Like, some of the stuff that I hear on social media is correct. Like, for real, y'all thought we were immigrants. Come on now. Stop playing. We don't want to be here now. Get us out of here.
Black Americans are not immigrants. We were here before the country was founded. My family was here before America existed. I'm not an immigrant. An immigrant implies that you immigrated. I did not immigrate. My family did not immigrate. Where did we immigrate from? I Googled it. Let's take a look. So I asked Google, are Black Americans considered immigrants? And it says no. African Americans who are descendants of those enslaved in the United States are not typically considered immigrants in the traditional sense. Here's why. Immigrants are generally defined as people who chose to move to a new country for permanent residence. The majority of African Americans' ancestors were brought to the U.S. through the transatlantic slave trade, a forced migration, not a voluntary one. They were forced from their homes and not given a choice in their relocation. I understand that the Texas school system is now trying to teach that slavery was forced immigration, but that's not what it is. No. Enslaved Africans in this country or enslaved Black Americans are not immigrants in any sense of the word. We're not immigrants. We did not immigrate here.
Oh, and people from around the world never thought we was immigrants. They fucking playing. They knew damn well Black Americans was not no fucking immigrants. Especially say an immigrant from South America or Jamaica, any of that. If they ever thought that, they just wanted to play in our face and be disrespectful. So when they came over here, they could be like, well, the black people, bitch, we've been here for 400 years. What are you talking about? Did y'all know that most of us was here before the 1800s? Majority of us was already here. Did y'all know that? Before Ellis Island, before influx of immigrants, that wasn't until the 60s. We had already been here. What are you talking about? We built this brick by brick. It wasn't built on immigrants. Maybe some pilgrims and some slaves. The only thing the immigrants did over the past 20 years is refurbish this motherfucker. You didn't build it. And coming from Black people, I never understand. We invented so much shit here. Y'all, if you're gonna come over here, don't be disrespectful to us. I mean, United States is a superpower because of free labor for hundreds of years. Cotton, #1 commodity. Don't be so fucking dense. And it's crazy because what did y'all think? Americans were just white? But y'all know we've been here the same time as them. But y'all don't say that about the white ones. And I ain't talking about the immigrant ones, the white pilgrims. But y'all never call them fucking immigrants. That's how I know they fucking playing.
It's a happy decision today for many of us. And people that constantly want to call us immigrants, that we can be deported. So clearly today shows you the truth about the 14th Amendment. Yes, Aboriginal people were enslaved. And yes, Aboriginal people sold their own people as well. We know the history. Who didn't do what they needed to do to survive? And they had no choice. White supremacy is real today as it was years ago. But still, I don't like everything Trump does, but I like the fact that he's standing on business concerning. He knows who the real Aboriginal people of this land was. Copper-colored people. Copper-colored people. We came in many shades. A lot of us did not descend from Africa, who can trace our genealogy tree, is why people call Black Americans immigrants. We're not African Americans either. And for those who want to be called African Americans, that's because you have African descent. You came over and naturalized citizenship. That's what that is. You came from wherever, Congo, Nigeria. The new census is going to be stated there for you to put that. But in other words, I'm not gloating. I know this is going to affect other people. I'm happy because this is a turnaround for us. And I hope Trump goes back 200 years for the fake native pretenders. I hope he goes back 200 years concerning them. Retroactive. And I'm not saying for anybody else. I'm saying specifically for them. And otherwise than that, if you're having a baby, this doesn't affect you until they sign it. If you now traveling, you know you're pregnant, don't travel in the country, they're going to turn you around. This thing has really taken a serious turn of events. So again, for those who need to be educated, even the younger generation, they're not educated enough, so they still census themselves as African Americans. No, we're not. And again, unless you have African descent, that's what that means. And it was to shade us as, you know, still saying Black Americans or whatever. But this here totally takes a new change. And I'm happy in the outcome of this because now are the changes that we're fighting for, not just reparations, identity. My ancestors' identities were white, classifying us differently. So this is what this means to a lot of us. And the fight for any native land that is stolen and taken for those who still have documentations on their ancestry lands as Aboriginals, indigenous people of America. This is a true, how can I say, happy day for many of us. So otherwise than that, again, I feel sorry for anybody who is going to be affected by this, but I know what it means for us. I know what it means for my ancestors, this here, and I know what this means even for my dad. Thank God my dad is still alive. And so, again, peace out and happy blessings.
Okay, so I do want to take a moment and expand on what I meant by America being the home of my great-great-great-grandmother's great-great-great-grandmother. When I talked about being a Black American that has very long roots to the Black American enslaved Negroes in this country, and how being Black in America is different from being a Black American Negro, descendant of slaves. For starters, that's 12 generations. So that would put her at a birth between the late 1690s and the early 1700s. And that's only looking at my great-grandmothers that are of Black ancestry, because just about every Black American descendant of chattel slavery also has a white ancestor. Through our paternal line, again, the white ancestor that brutalized one of our Black great-grandmothers, he also likely had a white mother, also born in this country, right? She's also my ancestor as a Black American descendant of the enslaved Black American Negroes. The first slaved ships came in 1619. So then that would mean she likely also had a great-great-grandparent born in the United States. So like that's how far from a genetic connection we have to any single one of our African ancestors as a Black American descendant of chattel slavery in this country. And that's so worth knowing, because when you have a history as complex and as integral to the Black American story as ours, you need to listen to the descendants of those who literally descended from the major players of the American story. Yes, Black Americans are of African descent, but we were stolen. The thieves, or our white enslavers, brought us to enslave the dispossessed Native Americans. And that's just talking about like my Black ancestor. I likely had a white woman ancestor also born in this country, and a Native American great-grandmother. Also, I am the last descendant of my family's line to bear my Native American ancestry, because it's so small that most geneticists would agree that it likely would not show up as an allele in my children. So know and live your history.
You know what? I remember going to high school in New York. I would get asked
so often, where are you from? And I'd be like, America. I'm from America. They just be like, but where are you from? Where are you from? Bro, I was asked that question so much. I was just like, okay, fine. We need to get we need to get a 23andMe test. We need to find out, like, where are we from, right? We need to find out. Mind you, this was like back in 2016. This was like years ago. So 23andMe, when it came to black people, it really didn't know anything. Like, it really wasn't that advanced. Literally lost my father's, like, didn't connect me and my father together, even though I am his daughter. Like, there was absolutely, you know, now that I say it out loud, I know it sounds suspicious, but I'm not going to impact that. Anyways, it basically just said West African. So still, I had nothing to tell the people who would ask me on a regular basis, well, where are you really from? Where are you? Are you Caribbean? Are you Dominican? I got Dominican a lot. I couldn't just be, you know, African American. It was always something else.
So I ask this question one more time. Why is it difficult for a lot of people to understand that these people are literally not immigrants? Why is it difficult? Or is it because of these people are not the one in power, or they are not the one that is getting most of the things that they are supposed to get? You need to understand, when these people come out to tell you that this is who we are, how is it even possible that you are the one to now, you want to now explain to someone? Okay, let's take for example, right? You want to explain where I am from. That does not even make sense, because I'm the only person to know where I am coming from. I'm the only person to know my origin. You should ask me, where are you from? You do not have the right to use your own mouth to tell me that this is where you are from, and very soon it's going to be your turn. You guys are also going to get deported. Deported to where? Just like the way I'm a Nigerian citizen. If Nigeria want to deport me, where are they deporting me to? Where will Nigeria, as it stands now, where will they deport me to? So that is how these Black Americans people are. And the earlier you start realizing that, the better. Because these people have literally spit it out. And in fact, ChatGPT has proved it. History has proved it. Even despite the fact that they've been tampering on their rights, even despite the fact that they don't want it to make it look as if these people deserve all the praise and adoration and so on and so forth, right? But we know, even you that is talking. So I just urge everybody to learn to respect when people tell you this is where we are from, this is how it is, and this is how it's going. You don't have any right to tell them that you are lying, you're doing this, you're doing that, are you sure, are you not sure, and so on and so forth. It's not making sense. And you that is watching me as a Black American person, it is high time that you literally do not need to be explaining yourself to people. Why do you need to be explaining yourself? You don't need to be explaining, wasting your energy. Let them think whatsoever they want to think. Let them assume whatsoever they want to assume. But the fact remains that you know where you are from. You are an American. Yes. So after everything that these people have been through, even if these people want to come out and be like, I am not American, will you accept? If I see any Black Americans as it stands now that will tell me that, oh, I'm denying, I don't want to be Black American, I will not agree that person. Yes. Because your forefathers have suffered for over 400 years. You have suffered, you have seen things. So is it now that you're supposed to achieve what you're supposed to achieve, that you will now say, oh, I'm no longer Black American, blah, 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 and so on and so forth? It's not going to work. It's not. So stop wasting your strength to give people answers, people that don't even deserve your answer. Let them think what they want to think. Make them talk. Make them think. Anything. Let them think. Let them talk. Let them go their way. But at the end of the day, we know. Because even this Hispanic that is trying to rub it on these Black American people, you were warned. You were told, do not vote. But you said, no, he's going to save us. He's our savior. Now your savior is dealing with you. How does that feel to be dealt with by your own person? How does it feel? I just want to know in the comment section, because I don't know how it feels. So one should please explain to me in the comment section. Anyways, I hope this video is able to help someone out there. Let me know what you think. This is just for educational purpose, not to bash anyone. We do not support any form of violence in our page, and this is us just giving our opinion. I stand a chance to be corrected. Feel free to correct me. And yes, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we use in this episode. Until then, see you in our next one. Bye for now. We love you. Mwah.